There's a seed so small you could hold 1,000 of them in the palm of your hand. It looks like nothing. But inside it is one of the most powerful natural compounds for blood vessel health ever studied, and cardiovascular researchers have called it one of the most important nutritional discoveries of the last 50 years. Here's what makes this remarkable. You can buy it at any grocery store on the planet for less than $5. Most people have no idea what it can do. I'm going to show you exactly what it is and then reveal 5 more seeds that work together to create a complete circulatory support system that most doctors have never even discussed with their patients. The last one has a mechanism so unique I genuinely think it'll surprise you, so stay with me. The first seed is flaxseed, and if I could recommend only one food for vascular health for the rest of my career, this would be it. Flax seeds are the single richest plant source of a compound called alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that directly reduces inflammation in the cells lining your blood vessels. Those cells are called endothelial cells, and they are the ones responsible for producing nitric oxide, the molecule that signals your blood vessels to open up and allow blood to flow freely. But that's just the beginning. Flax seeds also contain something called lignans, and they have between 75 and 800 times more lignans than any other food on Earth. Not a subtle difference. An entirely different category. Your gut bacteria convert these lignans into compounds that have been shown to help blood vessels relax, protect nitric oxide from being destroyed, and reduce vascular inflammation at the root level. One clinical trial found that daily flaxseed consumption produced some of the largest reductions in blood pressure ever recorded for a single dietary intervention. One critical thing to know: whole flax seeds pass through your body almost completely undigested, so you have to grind them. A small coffee grinder, a few days' worth at a time, stored in the fridge, 1 to 2 tablespoons a day in a smoothie, yogurt, or oatmeal, and that's all it takes. The second seed is the pumpkin seed, and it addresses circulation through a completely different angle. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest food sources of magnesium on Earth, and a large percentage of adults are deficient in magnesium without ever knowing it. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium channel blocker, which is the exact same mechanism used by an entire class of prescription blood pressure medications. When magnesium levels are adequate, the smooth muscle cells in your blood vessel walls can relax. When they're low, calcium floods in unchecked, and those vessels constrict. A single quarter cup of pumpkin seeds provides nearly half the daily recommended magnesium for an adult male. They're also rich in zinc, which supports an enzyme called superoxide dismutase, the enzyme most responsible for neutralizing the free radicals that destroy nitric oxide in your blood vessels. More zinc means better nitric oxide protection, which means better circulation. The third seed is the watermelon seed, and most people throw these away without a second thought, which is a mistake. Watermelon seeds contain an amino acid called citrulline, which is a direct precursor to arginine, which is the raw material your body uses to manufacture nitric oxide. What makes this interesting is that citrulline actually raises blood arginine levels more effectively than taking arginine directly. The reason is that arginine gets significantly broken down in the gut before it ever reaches your bloodstream. Citrulline bypasses that, gets converted in the kidneys, and delivers a higher and more sustained supply to your vessels. You can roast them lightly with a bit of salt, blend them into a powder, or add them to a trail mix, and however you take them, the pathway to nitric oxide production is the same. The fourth seed is sesame, and it has been used medicinally for thousands of years across Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, with modern science now explaining exactly why. Sesame seeds contain a compound called sesamin, which has been shown to directly boost your body's own internal antioxidant enzymes, specifically superoxide dismutase and catalase. This is different from simply consuming antioxidants. Sesamin actually increases your body's ongoing capacity to protect itself from oxidative damage at the vessel wall level. There is also a remarkable secondary effect. Sesame inhibits the enzymes that normally break down vitamin E in your body, effectively extending how long vitamin E stays active. Since vitamin E is the primary fat-soluble antioxidant protecting your blood vessel membranes, this has direct and meaningful implications for vascular health. The most practical way to get sesame into your daily routine is tahini, a tablespoon or two on vegetables, mixed into a dressing, or simply off the spoon. The fifth seed is the sunflower seed, one of the richest sources of vitamin E on the planet, with a single quarter-cup serving providing over 80% of your daily recommended intake. Vitamin E is the main fat-soluble antioxidant protecting the membranes of your endothelial cells, the cells lining every blood vessel in your body. Damage those membranes and nitric oxide production drops, protect them, and vascular function stays strong. Sunflower seeds also contain selenium, which is essential for an enzyme called glutathione peroxidase, another critical piece of your body's internal antioxidant defense network. And when you pair sunflower seeds with sesame seeds, you create a meaningful synergy because the sesamin from sesame extends vitamin E activity in the body, while the sunflower seeds provide the vitamin E itself, delivering a sustained, amplified antioxidant effect that neither could produce alone. Now for the sixth seed, the one I mentioned at the beginning, the one with a mechanism most doctors have genuinely never discussed. Celery seeds. They contain a compound called 3N-butylphthalide, and unlike every other seed on this list, this one doesn't just support nitric oxide production or block calcium. It works at the level of your stress response. Chronic stress keeps your sympathetic nervous system activated, which means stress hormones like adrenaline are constantly signaling your blood vessels to constrict. Even if you're producing adequate nitric oxide, those stress-driven signals can override the relaxation response entirely. This compound specifically counteracts that stress-driven constriction through a targeted pathway that nothing else on this list touches. Clinical studies have shown measurable reductions in blood pressure and meaningful improvements in blood flow markers from celery seed. You can use it as a spice in soups and stews, steep a teaspoon in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes as a tea, or take it as a concentrated extract. So let's bring this all together. Flaxseed reduces vascular inflammation at the root level. Pumpkin seeds deliver magnesium that relaxes blood vessels, and zinc that protects nitric oxide from oxidative destruction. Watermelon seeds supply the citrulline your body needs to manufacture more nitric oxide. Sesame seeds strengthen your internal antioxidant defenses and extend vitamin E activity. Sunflower seeds protect the endothelial cells responsible for producing nitric oxide in the first place. And celery seeds counteract the stress-driven constriction that can override all of the above. No single supplement addresses all of these pathways, but combining these 6 seeds does. The simplest way to start is to mix them together into a daily seed blend: ground flax, pumpkin, watermelon, sesame, sunflower, and a small amount of ground celery seed stored in a sealed container in the fridge. 1 to 2 tablespoons a day in a smoothie, over yogurt, on a salad, or stirred into oatmeal. The effects are cumulative and build over weeks and months. This is not a one-time intervention. It is a daily habit with compounding returns. If this gave you something useful, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe, because I put out evidence-based health content every week.